because you had mentioned the song "I Love You 3000" and that went viral in 2019. Can you walk us through the creation story of that song? I love that song. Everybody loves that song. Gina goes insane for that song, and
Thank
um,
you.
and the other thing that we're curious about is as the song grew in popularity organically, how did your life change?
Yeah, so the way the song started was I almost have a script because of how often I explain this, but basically, I was supposed to go out with friends. They bailed on me. I did a Q&A on Instagram. I asked people to send me a word or a phrase, and I'll write it into a song. And one of those was "I Love You 3000" because the movie just came out. And then I I just like put it up on my story, and the next day a bunch of people asked me to finish it, and so I did. And then I was just gonna record it at home with like my like photo booth camera and stuff, but my mom really liked it, and she said, please go in the studio and like record it, and like let's make this legit. And I was like, okay. And so we went in the studio. I got a friend of mine to play the guitar because, like I said, my guitar skills weren't that good. And then I literally like put it up. So I used this thing called Tunecore. All you kids, listen up, okay? So that this is basically like if you want to put music up, but you don't have a distributor or a label, you can use Tunecore. This is what I used, and you basically just pay like yearly um, to have a song up, and then you take 100%. I think that's how it works. I think, but that's what I did. And usually, what happens is when you upload a song, you technically like upload it to these music platforms, but then it's not out yet for usually like 2 weeks to a month, maybe in three. And it's to basically give the curators time to put them in playlists. See, I didn't know anything, so I literally uploaded it, and I chose the quickest date that it would go up, which is 3 days. And so in 3 days it went up. So no no playlisters saw it, and they always say like, "Oh my god, if you like put it up like and you gave us some time, we would have." And I was like, "I was nobody. You wouldn't know who I was. Like you wouldn't have put it." But thank you. Um, and so that's what happened. And I would say like, so I recorded the music video on my phone. I was like walking around Jakarta and had my sister record it and everything, and I like edited it. And when I put it up on YouTube, so a lot of people actually misremember. I think they think the song blew up on TikTok, but TikTok wasn't really a thing at the
Mm.
time. And so it actually blew up like on YouTube and on music platforms. Like it was through like sharing links and
Yeah.
stuff. And so the first 3 days it was up. It had like 10,000 views, and I was like, oh my god, like look at me. And then in a week it had 1 million, and then in 2 weeks it had like 10 million. So I was like, oh, what's happening? Like this is weird. But I remember it was like almost like too crazy of a thing that I didn't really realize what was happening until the 2 week mark. And then I got an email from Genius being like, hey, we would love for you to come to LA to do like Genius Verified. And that's like the day I was like, oh,
Oh,
wait a minute, like my life is changing, and I like cried. But that's kind of what happened.
yeah.
And the crazy thing about that is all the effort was just like post pre the song. Basically, like all I had to do was make the video and the song, and I literally did not market it at
Yeah.
all. Like we had zero marketing budget and also like zero marketing
Yeah.
effort. Like I did one Instagram post being like, I have a song, which now it's like this. Like now, a lot of the effort actually comes like also after, like when the song is out, you're on TikTok posting 1 million like little like boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
you know. So that's what happened.
And when you say that like you uh distributed the song through TuneCore, was that something that you just kind of stumbled upon because there were no because I guess the traditional thought is I have to get signed to a label, I got to get a deal, and then they put my record out on all the platforms and that kind of stuff. Um, and then sort of like, what does that mean for you in terms of owning 100% of your song? Is that like a huge difference than sort of going the other route with the major labels and that type of thing?
Yeah. Well, okay. If it was 5 years ago, my advice would be completely different because 5 years ago, um, labels used to sign people who had no songs out, you know? And now it's like they literally say to you, like, we can't, like, if we signed you, like, we can't do anything. Like, you kind of have to be, you have to do it all yourself and then we'll sign you and then we'll just help pay for, labels now are more like banks, like, they help you pay for things. Um, so I definitely, all my friends are indie. I'm like indie now. Honestly, it's a slay. It's very fun. Um, Also, just like, like, um, you get indie rates. I think please respect people's rates. Okay, please don't try to lowball producers and writers. But you get indie rates, which is nice, which is usually half of how much they ask for if you were with a label. Um, and yeah, basically I didn't sign with a label at the start, even though I could. Like I said, I had connections through my mom, and there were people who were like interested, but I basically said I wanted to go to college. So this was like 2018. I was like, hey, I'm gonna have to take a gap year, but I'm gonna go to college in a year. I got into University of British
Oh,
Columbia in Canada,
hey.
and I'm gonna go.
Ah.
And I didn't end up going. So I have a year to do music, and no label. Sorry, it's my cat. No label wanted to sign me. Obviously, they were like, "Why would we sign you if you're only going to be doing music for a year?" And so I was like, "You're so right." So I was just like indie the whole time. And Tunecore, I think it was my brother. Oh,
It's okay.
sorry, that was my cat feeding. As you can tell. But basically, TuneCore. Oh, TuneCore I found through my brother. I think so my brother's a DJ and he had a lot of friends who were DJs putting stuff out, and they all use TuneCore. So I gotta recommend TuneCore.
Nice.